was so fucking late. So, anyways, if any of you are wondering and hadn't been following along and you're like, where the hell have you been? I was supposed to have a doctor's appointment at 2 o'clock. And when I get there, and if any of you are worried, hey, Ashley Boss the volleyball, and B the elephant, Grace and Scott and Ronnie and Sheep. Yay, 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 and Lisa. I know, you were here first, Lisa. You were the first one. Lulo and Bridget aren't, and Ooks is here. Yay, bonjour, and Emily. Hey, hey, and Charlotte. So if you were wondering, and you don't have Twitter, which is totally acceptable and fine, I had my follow-up appointment with the hematologist. Remember how I told you guys that I had a gene mutation, partially mutated like my grandma? So I went to a hematologist to be like, hey, what do I do about this? And what does this mean? And she said that essentially I'm fine. I'm just a carrier. I'm not as high of a risk as my grandma because my stuff isn't like cardiovascular. Hey, Paige. Thanks, Lisa. Dancer for life. Hi, Benz. And so anyway, she was just saying, the doctor told me that I'm just a carrier. I should probably stop oral contraceptives because that increases your risk of stroke, but I shouldn't be worried. And then when I fly, I should get up every hour or so and walk around. But other than that, we're good to go. And so she pretty much said that I'm just a carrier. I don't actually have the issue that my grandma has. It's not in any way as severe, but I should just be cognizant of it. And she said it's one of those things where you just watch and wait. And most likely what will happen is I will get a blood clot in like my leg, and it will look like just a sore spot, a red sore spot on my leg. So I'm supposed to keep aware of that. But she says since I'm healthy and I exercise, those are all good things. So anyways, that was what that was. And so just if any of you are wondering, we're doing this part first, and then we'll move over to the Patreon, the Crowdcast one at 5. So everything's just an hour delayed. And I figured that it was just better to see you now than never. So better late than never. Thanks for waiting. But how are all you doing? Oh, I know. And that's what she did say, like to rub on my feet and rub on my legs. And I asked about compression socks, and she was like, maybe when you fly, but they're not necessary. And I was like, okay. So anyways, everything's good. If any of you are worried, don't be worried. I'm all good. I just had to get home and then try to get on, and I was like, do I still go on? Should I move it to tomorrow? But tomorrow I have a shit ton of filming to do. So today it is. So I'll be filming those sex videos tomorrow, as well as some Monday videos. Thanks, Bridget Arndt. Woo-woo. Oh, it's late there, Abby.
Hi, Katie.
Oh, Awkward Strawberry says you need to massage my feet. Since I have...
I'm not doing it right now.
And my neck. I think so, too. I know, to help with my... Oh, Mari, I only read the comments on YouNow. If any of you are watching on YouTube, that's a great question. I am not on YouTube now. I'm only on YouNow. I simulcast to YouTube because I know some people prefer to watch it there, and then it's available for other people after the fact if they want to watch it back. That's mainly the reason that I put it there. Oh, Sadie Girl's here. Hey, hey. And yes, Chastity, there is an app for Patreon, and I believe there's even a separate app for Crowdcast, which is what Patreon, their live streaming is through. I don't know if you need to download both. Does anybody want to let her know? I'm not 100% sure because I do it all on my laptop. Yeah, so anyways, that's all. Thanks, Ronnie. Woo-woo. Thanks, Sheep, for putting the link, and Scott, thank you. Oh, it's like a minute behind on YouTube. Gotcha. Okay. So anyways, so everything's good. Don't worry. I'm all healthy. Oh, Sean is playing high school band practice, what it looks like over there. Welcome, Alexis. It's her first live stream. And I'm still coughing. Insert really sad, annoying music. But I feel okay. But I definitely am still somewhat sick. And it's the most frustrating sickness of all times. And many of you told me you've been sick for weeks and weeks. So this is going on week 3, but my doctor I just saw, even though she's a hematologist, she checked, listened to my lungs and looked in my throat and my nose and everything. She's like, it looks like you have a little congestion, but you don't have any fluid in your lungs. You're fine. Thanks, Ronnie. So she pretty much just said, you're on the way out, of the sickness. So, yay? Question mark. Anyways, you've been sick for almost 2 months, Mickey. That's the worst. Oh, gross. That's terrible, Ashley Boston Volleyball. Pink-eye tonsillitis and a sinus infection. That's why I ended up having to get my tonsils out at the ripe age of 21. because I just kept getting strep throat. So anyways, let's get into some questions. Let's have some guests. I have a mail haul. I have a bunch of stuff to open. So we'll do that. Since we're going to be on an hour, we'll do that in like 20 minutes. I'll do the mail haul. Yeah, and let's answer some questions and do that. Awkward Strawberry, you're supposed to have your tonsils removed, but did they never make you? Interesting. Also, before I forget, and I'll mention this a couple times throughout the live stream, if you are subscribed to YouNow and you have your trees and the things that you can use, make sure you cancel that. I don't want you to be charged because I will not be live streaming. I mean, I might every so often, but it won't be my only live streaming platform. Like I said last week, I guess. Yes, and we'll still do Patreon, Becca. We're going to do Patreon. Everything's just an hour behind. Charlotte, so the Patreon live stream will start at like 5:05, just to give each a full hour. Oh, hey, Jamie. But I wanted you all to know to cancel your subscriptions if you haven't at the end of this month or whenever you get charged, because as of January 11th, my contract with YouNow will be up, meaning that I can only live stream on them, on this platform. And so I'll be live streaming across all sorts of different things. And we can figure out what works best for us, and we can do more Patreon ones, and all of that good stuff. So anyways, that's kind of what, yeah, and Sunshine Patreon is like a monthly subscription. It's, you pay whatever you can afford. You can do $1, you can do $100, whatever works within your budget each and every month. And as a thank you from me, you get a reward accordingly. So there's everything from getting to print out a Kenyan certificate, to get your question answered in videos, hang out with me on a Skype chat, stuff like that. So, yeah, Sadie girl, I will remind you when that happens, when the transition's happening. But feel free to cancel it now, because even if you've paid for the month,
it just keeps you through the month.
Yeah, it'll end when your month is up.
I just canceled mine.
Sean just canceled his, so he's on it. I love that. I love seeing that on our debit card every month. I was like, it's like I'm paying myself $1. It's very interesting. So anyways, or $5, I guess is what it was, $4.99. Anyway, so oh, Jeffrey, there's a snowstorm in Canada. I hope you're doing okay. Why does Pat, I don't know what that question was. Oh, perfect, Charlotte. Thank you. So anyways, yeah, just make sure that you cancel it here. I don't want you to get charged when I won't be on here all the time. That's all. Just want to remind you. But let's get into some of your questions. Leon asks, is it normal after a hard therapy session for dissociation to be intense? Definitely if that session was, like you said, it was a hard session. If the session pushed you too far, like past what your comfortability level is, that can cause dissociation. What I would do is talk to your therapist and let them know that that's happening afterwards, because either A, they're pushing you too far and that's why that's happening, or B, you need more time at the end of your session to kind of unwind and come back to normal. And so making sure that you give yourself the time to do that is important, and letting your therapist know that these are the repercussions of a session. They should be able to help you out better so it doesn't happen with such frequency. Okay, let's see. Oh, I'm glad you're better, Mayor Fleur. Let's see. Yes, me too, Tommy Reader. Okay, so, oh, Abby, YouNow will, my contract with YouNow is up January 11th, so I will not be live streaming on here all the time. I may live stream on here from time to time, but you should not be subscribed. Thanks, Ronnie. Woo, 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 woo. And what I was trying to answer all of your questions, sorry. But now it's gotten real busy and I can't control the scroll. Okay, sorry. So anyways, that hopefully answers all of those questions about that stuff. Oh, and somebody asked, I think, when does Patreon charge? Patreon only charges you at the first of the month. And I don't put anything in there. You don't get charged per video. Mine's only just once a month. So make sure that, you're prepared for that to happen the first of the month. And I know, I'm glad that they went back on their extra fees. Sean and I had such a difficult time even understanding what the hell was going on and like how much was it going to be. And I kind of waited for them to like tell us what that would mean for you guys. But they went back on it. So Patreon is staying the same, because that was really weird. And I didn't even know how to communicate it to you, because I didn't fully understand like the percentages and then was it 35 cents?
I don't know.
know.
We called them
Anyways, I kind of complained and was like, WTF, please explain more. Thanks, Hannah. Woo, woo, woo. And so they went back on it. So Patreon doesn't, it's like as if nothing happened. If you didn't hear about it and you're like, wait, what? Don't worry. You don't even need to. It's like it never happened. We're back to normal. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Lisa, Patreon is awesome, isn't it? Oh, and the fire. Yeah, you guys, I'm all good. Thanks, Layla, for asking. The fire, oh, they emailed you last week, Bethany. Yeah, I think they emailed everybody and then they backpedaled, but it was kind of confusing. So as far as the fires in LA are concerned, the ones that were closest to where Sean and I live, if you don't know where we're at, we're in Santa Monica, so we're kind of like in northwest LA. We had fires in Skirball, which are the closest it's like a certain area near like a center. It's called the Skirball Center. It's an exit. That's why it's a weird name. But the fire has been contained and people were able to return to their homes, but there still are many fires raging in the Ventura area as well as I think in San Diego County. So there is still ash and smoke in the air. If you live in LA, please don't be outside like working out. I see people doing that and I'm like, it doesn't say that the air quality is good. I know that you might need to get your run on, but maybe just give your body a break until it gets better. So just being careful is important. But we're all safe now, so don't worry about Sean and I. He just got some business calls going there. We didn't end up having to evacuate. We just had to get everything ready in case we did, but we're safe and sound. So thank you for all your concerns, and thank you for, just thinking of us. It felt good. And it was also a weird thing to go through your house. I think I said this last time, like, all we really packed up were, like, insurance papers and, like, our marriage certificate, passports, and all that stuff. And then, like, hard drives and photos. Like, nothing else was important. Everything else you can repurchase, which is a weird thing to feel. But it just shows you it's really not that big of a deal. Things you think are important really aren't. Material items, not that important. Okay. Oh, thanks, Mickey. Snapchat has the best filters. So, yeah. Oh, thanks, Sophie Joe. And thanks, Carly, coming in hot with 100 likes. Woo, 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 woo. Okay. So, everything's good. Don't worry about us. Carly. Holy schmamolies. Okay. Let's see. Loopy Lucy Talk says, how can I cope with my eating disorder when my anxiety makes it physically impossible to eat, but the idea of eating makes me anxious? I hope that makes sense. Yeah, like one's like feeding the other, no pun intended, but like the anxiety is making the eating disorder worse. And then like the fact that like anxiety is the cause of the eating disorder. And then when you have to try to fight the eating disorder, the anxiety gets even worse. I get it. It like builds on, it's like a terrible eating disorder anxiety snowball. And the truth about that is like, I would encourage you to talk to your therapist and come up with some ways. Thanks, Ronnie. Woo, woo. Thanks, Jamie and Carly. Yay, yay. I would talk to your therapist and come up with ways to soothe your system. And I've been reading more because you guys always challenge me, which I love. And I've been reading and getting really fascinated by our like entire neurological system, meaning that like we have a bunch of different, how do I explain this without being confusing? A bunch of different centers and areas in our brain that are responsible for how we feel. Okay? When one portion of our brain as a system, when one portion of it gets like overactivated, meaning it can cause anxiety, we could be dissociating, all of that, when it gets overwhelmed and like it's maxed out, we have to find certain relaxation skills, distraction techniques and things to calm that system back down, because until that part of our brain can feel like back to a baseline, we honestly can't think properly, our mood can be erratic, and we can be really impulsive. And so all those things, taking those into consideration, there's probably a ton more reading I need to do and things that need to be said and all of that, but that's just like to make it really concise for you. Until we find things that soothe our system down, it'll keep happening. And so try different things. I say all that to say talk to your therapist, try progressive relaxation. Are there ways you can distract yourself at the table when you have to eat? Like, can you read a newspaper? Can you talk to someone and look them in the eye and participate in conversation? Are there like ways we can start doing some imagery and like exposure therapy techniques where we imagine that we're eating and we imagine it's going to be okay? Like, what can we do? Because those are all the ways that we can kind of help ourselves before we sit down to actually have to eat and the anxiety builds and blah, blah, blah. So working on that can help soothe your system and hopefully help you be able to better battle it. That was a mouthful. Exactly, Mayor Fleur. Mindfulness. Awkward Strawberry, interesting question. So she says, Katie, question, what made you decide to take your knowledge to YouTube? Thank you, Christy. Christy Lee Harris. Woo, 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 woo. Danny H. You guys, don't worry. Take your headphones out. Are you ready? Woo, 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 woo. Somebody, who was it, on Twitter made a joke about, like, take your headphones out. Are you ready? I loved it. It was amazing. But okay, so some was asking what made me decide to take my information to YouTube. Thanks, Ben's Q in the house. Honestly, at first it was Sean. Like, I always tell people this story. Like, at first it was Sean because he went to like a convention and he was working there and he realized that like YouTube gave people a platform able to reach other people and to educate. You guys, thank you for all the likes. Woo, 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 woo. And he told me that I should try it. And I was like, that's weird. No, thanks. Thank you, Rebecca L. Yay, 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 yay. Woo, woo, woo. Ronnie, coming in hot. Yay, yay, yay. So, anyways, then I started doing that. Hi, Music Lover Forever. So I started doing it. And then, truthfully, the reason I kept doing it is all of you. Because I don't think, and not to get like super sentimental or like cry on you guys, because it's been a long day. I don't want to cry today. I didn't realize or consider how people could be affected by it. And I know that sounds really dumb. Like, how do you not consider that? I don't know. When you do things, when you start, I'm just going to try this thing and I'm super awkward and what am I doing? And I don't really like being on camera, and you think about all of that stuff. But I didn't think that I would be able to connect with so many people. And I think like the main reason I keep doing it now is because I'm able to positively affect people's lives, and that's really cool. And if I can challenge myself to do more and read more and create more, and that helps people, how fucking amazing is that? So thank you. It's because of you. An hour in a minute. Thank you. Woo, woo, woo. Oh, thank you, Ooks. Sent me a nice message. Thanks, Tony Perkins. Okay, let's answer more of enough about me. You're wearing your t-shirt today. Speaking of t-shirts, that's a nice segue. I have a few extras from the ones that went out. If you haven't received yours, they're on their way. They should be there at the latest in like a couple of days, I'd assume. But look, Carly, you'll like this. This is the monthly t-shirt. I really love the dancing squirrel. These are designed by Sean and myself. I think they're very cute, and I'm very excited to wear them, which is why I got some extra ones so that I can wear them too. I'll be my own empathic badass. Isn't it cute? I love it. So I hope you all love it, and hopefully you're starting to receive your gifts. I've heard from some of you that you've received the pins. I sent out enamel pins. I don't have any extras. Oh no, I have one extra in the giveaway bin. Yay, Ooks, got your t-shirts. Oh, Jassy or Giselle, thanks for subscribing, but you might not want to. Thanks, Ronnie. Woo, woo, woo. Because I won't be on here past January 11th, so don't let them charge you twice. Because what time is it? What day is it? Okay, we have a month left, just under a month. Oh, Holly's here. Everybody's here. So anyways, those are the t-shirts. I hope you guys like them. I'm super excited. Okay. And I'm going to be refreshing the Patreon videos, you know, the thank you and the welcome. So I got to do those tomorrow as well. Remember, I was like, there's a lot of videos. Also, I'm creating a video for another, like a WebMD type webpage. It's kind of cool. I get to talk about functional, like high functioning depression. So it'd be kind of cool. Okay. Charlotte Hall says, my dad passed away 3 years ago, and ever since I've hated Christmas. How can I overcome this and enjoy Christmas again? I think, Charlotte, part of it is just the grieving process. And I know that a lot of people grieve around certain anniversaries of it. I'm not one of those people, which I'm actually grateful for. Like, I know this sounds really weird, but my aunt texts me every year on the anniversary when my dad died. And every year I'm like, oh yeah, which I know makes me sound really heartless, but it's very common for people to grieve on certain days and holidays, things that remind them of them. That's more what I do. And some people grieve on the anniversary. And since we know that it's hard for you, I would encourage you to spend time grieving now, letting yourself feel it, letting yourself be sad and angry and all of the feelings that come up so that it doesn't completely ruin the day. Because the truth be told, your dad probably wouldn't want you hating it or feeling so shitty. And so let's try to work to help ourselves feel better so we can enjoy Christmas. Because I love the holidays. Whatever you celebrate, even if you don't celebrate. Holy Ravioli, that's the best name. Woo, woo, woo. So yeah, doing, like Mayor Fleur said, doing tons of self-care, spending some time letting yourself feel it all. Christy B, thank you. Letting yourself grieve it again in any way that feels good for you. Even if you just want to shout in a pillow, if you want to go for a walk and like kick things, like whatever feels good, let yourself do it. Something that helps me is I talk to my dad as if he's here, and I know that might make me sound crazy, but it's something I do a lot. Like, especially if Sean's not in the house, I'm having a rough day, I'm like, I wish you were here. Why the hell do you have to do that and leave and blah, blah, blah. And like, I have my moment, and usually it's because I'm like angry because I'm sad, and then I cry, and I'm like, I miss you. So let yourself do it. It's okay to feel it, but I would encourage you to start now, because we've got like, what is it? Today's 13th, so we've got 12 days until Christmas. Wow. Wowie. But give yourself some time and know that it's okay. Okay? Thanks, Sheep. Sheep just put in the holiday playlist. Oh, thanks, Aaron. You guys you've made a difference in my life. Letting me get to know you. It's funny, like, it's not funny. It's just like through Patreon, because we get to do hangouts and we get to catch up. Like if someone like isn't able to stay at that reward level, which I completely understand, but then I like miss them. I'm like, how are they doing? And I never heard the follow-up about that thing that was going on, and like I wonder and I worry. So you guys have made a difference in my life, and I like to keep up, you know. So okay, Space Cowboy became a fan. I just love the name. Can't help it. Oh, sorry, I'm getting a text. I'm releasing a video with somebody tomorrow. It's a collaboration. So I know I miss you too, Jamie. Okay. Oh, Christina, good question. Says, would it be okay to give my therapist a gift for Christmas? Thanks, Ronnie. Woo, 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 woo. Yay. Yes, it's completely appropriate to. I feel like this should be a video. Maybe this is another Thursday video I do really briefly. Because. You just checked your phone. It's because, Aaron, sorry, I'm getting really distracted, but my laptop dinged because someone texted me because we're talking about the release for tomorrow. And it like makes that noise, and I can't silence it because otherwise then if I guessed one of you, or I can't hear. So I have to keep it up. Thanks, Maddie. So, okay. Anyways, giving your therapist a gift is completely appropriate as long as it's small and it's not very costly. And the reason that they do this is because, like, I think I've said this before, but one of the questions on, it's because I'm talking so much. I shouldn't be talking so much. One of the questions on my licensing exam was like, if you're seeing a couple and the husband tries to give you like tickets to a Lakers game, can you take them? And you're like, no, because we can't take any large gift, because it changes the relationship. But a nice token gift, like I get a ton of cards, I get a ton of like baked goods. Like just today I got something from one of my clients, like Candy King. They're just cookies and cupcakes that her daughter had made, and she brought them in. So anything like that, a little token gift is very sweet. But just don't, like, I don't know, there's no, like, money limit. But in my mind, I'm always like, oh, thanks, Shannon. Oh, I always think, like, you know, maybe $50 or less. Okay. Yeah, I feel like I have too, Ray. I feel like it's happened on here a few times. I've talked about this. Okay. Connie says, what do I do when my counselor won't listen about my suicidal thoughts? Find another one. That's really messed up, and that could put them at high risk. And what a shitty therapist. I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, you can be louder about it and keep bringing it up and be like, I feel like you're not taking me seriously. If you are in danger and you worry that you're going to like attempt something, or you're feeling like you might want to hurt yourself, I have a video about safety plans. And also take yourself to the hospital. There's no shame in that. Keeping yourself safe goes a long way, okay? Okay, let's see. Thank you, Jillian. Oh, that's cute, Sadie Girl said I painted a small sodden box for mine for Christmas. That's so adorable. Thank you, Rebecca L. Woo, woo, woo. Okay. Thanks, Sheep. You're so good. Okay. Claire says I have OCD, MDD, and GAD, but it feels like my stubbornness affects my life at least as much as my OCD. Any suggestions with dealing with stubbornness? I think I mean, OCD and stubbornness are like little friends there. Thank you, Ronnie. Woo, and thanks, Alexander. I I honestly think that in order for us to better manage, I don't know. You're probably not going to like my answer. I am very stubborn, okay? So know that this comes out of like my own therapy work. But something that my therapist has told me is that like stubbornness is like against, it's like what's like an antithesis? Is that the right word? Or like it's the opposite of self-confidence, because stubbornness is like, I don't care what you have to say. I can't actually hear your side. I'm just like, not going to do it, not going to do it. No. Like, that's what stubbornness is. And I do that. I've been that way a lot as a kid, especially. And she'd always say that like, you can be determined and you can want something to happen, but stubborn means you won't even hear another side, which essentially, like for me, was like an exploration of like confidence and self-worth and all of that. And I have to be honest, once I built up like my confidence and self-worth, my urges to be stubborn like went away. And I know that that's like a weird correlation. I don't know if that makes any sense to you guys, but I think that a lot of it has to do with that. And not, it's like that, and or not wanting to let people in because it's not safe, right? And that all kind of comes down to like how we feel about ourselves and how we feel about our environment. So I think that I would look into my videos I have about building self-confidence, ways to earn, like ways to be more respectful. I think it's like how to get respect or something, I think is what it's called. But all of those can be really, beneficial if you feel really stubborn. And maybe I do a video about stubbornness because I think that would do really well. Yeah, and I can kind of talk about this in more detail and lay it out, but that's a good place to start. Okay, let's see. Ooh, Amber Davies, do you want to guess? We're going to guess somebody. Let's just see if they're ready. Maybe they're not. Oh, Alice G, I have a video on body dysmorphia. You can check it out and let you know. Do it. I will, Rebecca. I'll do a video on it. Let's see if we can connect with Amber Davies. Woo, 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 woo. Okay. Oh, Ernesto, about addiction to prescription drugs. I mean, I can talk about the addiction and how our brain works, but unfortunately, since I'm not a doctor, I try to stay away from like talking too much about medication. But I can look into it and see if I think there's kind of like a psychological component. Oh, it wouldn't connect. It wouldn't connect. Dang it. Okay, let's answer a few more questions and I'll try to guess another person. The next person, if you're ready, is Sunshine. Sunshine, are you ready? You be up next. Okay. Chastity, if you want to guess, you hit the third tab over, and then you hit the green button to add to the queue. Isn't that how it works, you guys, if I remember correctly? Thank you, Holly. Coming in hot. Woo, woo, woo. Okay. Maddie says, my mom is an alcoholic and has been abusive, but she's been especially nice lately, and I feel guilty because I struggle to trust. That makes sense why you struggle to trust. She hasn't really earned it yet. And someone changing their behavior at the beginning, this is the hardest thing with families of addiction, is that when someone decides that they're going to be better, which is awesome, and people want to recover and they want to get into recovery, families and loved ones can have a hard time trusting them again because they've been burned so many times before. And truthfully, I don't know how your mom is, but in a perfect world, I think it's great if we could come to our parent and we could say, I'm so glad that you're doing better and I'm glad that you're wanting to work on this and you're feeling better, but just know that it's going to take me a while to feel safe enough with this situation because it still feels a little odd to me. And that's fair. And if they really want to work on it, then they have to be able to talk that out with you and sit with it, because they've done things that need to be apologized for. They've hurt people, and people are going to have issues with it. So they have to, as part of their recovery, if you've ever been to an AA meeting, there's like all these steps that they go through, and part of it is like making amends. And so that's the part that that your mother's going to have to do with you, and it's okay to want that. Yeah, and I also think I have a video about dealing with an alcoholic parent, if I remember correctly. So hopefully that helps too. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, Music Lover Forever. It can be really, really hard. Abby says, I get really angry. Thanks, Holly. Heart trending. Woo, 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 woo. Says, I get really angry at my therapist every time she's away or sick. I don't mean to be, but I don't know how to handle it. Do you have any advice? Talk to her about it. My guess is it has to do with attachment. And I was just reading about this the other day because attachment can come in two forms. It can be like, hey, I don't want, thank you, Holly, yay, yay. It can be number one, I don't want you to leave. I fear you abandoning me. And we want to like squeeze them tight and see them more often and know more about them and all of that stuff. Or attachment can be like, you're going to leave me. Yeah, don't get too close. I don't trust anybody. Get out, and we cannot connect. And so if we feel really like it's hard for them to be gone and we get angry and we know that that's not like a quote unquote normal response to someone being gone, we should talk about it because it's coming from that place. And it depends on what it means, like what that means for you. But talking it out will help you hopefully figure that out. Okay, thank you, sheep. Yee, yee, yee. Okay, let's try sunshine. You're up next. See if we can connect. Hi.
Hi.
How's it going?
It's going good today.
Yay.
I'm a little nervous.
Everybody gets nervous, but don't worry. You're doing great. And everybody's super nice, so, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
So what's up? Did you have a question or anything? Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I guess I have a question. I have been suffering with derealization, the dissociation, for about like 4 or 5 months now.
Okay.
And I just don't really know if I have, because from the research that I've done with your videos and just other stuff that I've looked up, I know that it's like usually based off of like trauma, but how do you like really know if there was a trauma? Or could have there possibly been a trauma during the time that you started getting dissociated? Or like I don't understand what could have triggered it to be 24/7.
And it can be kind of tricky. A great video, I think we talked about it in it, but I'll talk about it here too. But just so if you want to re-listen later and like make sure you heard me, the videos I did with Dbt, one on her channel and one on mine, could be really great. You might have already watched those, but that kind of goes into more detail a little bit about what maybe's happened. So the thing with derealization or dissociation as a whole is that it is based in trauma, but traumas aren't always like these big glaring issues. It can be like, we talk about like little T's a lot. And with Doti in particular, she says that, it wasn't like one thing. It was like in the span of, I think it was 2 years, she had all this stuff happen that was super hard for her, like the loss of a grandparent and having a really difficult relationship where it kind of got abusive. Like there's things that have happened that weren't like, even though it sounds really intense, like they weren't like these big T's that you're like, oh, I got in a car accident, or oh, I was assaulted. Like it wasn't these big things, these big traumas. It was a bunch of little ones. And so at some point, and everybody's going to be different, but at some point you like build up all of these little T's and your brain can't handle it. And it's like, pull the ripcord. Ah! And that's when we end up with like the dissociation or derealization. And so it might take you a little time to like go back and see if there are things that built up, because it might not be exactly around when it started, but that one before it could be like the straw that broke the camel's back, essentially, like the last little T to pile on, where then it starts to, it's overwhelming for your brain.
Right. It was kind of weird. Yeah, I'll like the things that I think of when I think about the time when I got dissociated, like at the end of the month, is I had like maybe 2 or 3 panic attacks, and then I had this other time, because it happened just so suddenly. Like it wasn't, I was at the gym, and then like when I walked in, I was fine, and when like dimmer, and like they're just way, and so it doesn't, I don't know. I think maybe it could have been the panic attacks that I had, because I really didn't have them for like 8 years before it all started again.
Yeah, and anxiety can push us into that too, because I don't know if there's research to support this, but I've always been very suspicious around the fact that I think panic attacks and dissociation are like similar versions of the same thing, meaning that like we get so maxed out, our system's so maxed that we panic or we pull out. It's almost like fight or flight or freeze, and so that could be, I mean, I think your suspicions are correct. But I would, the more we talk about it, the more you journal about it or find other ways to help like calm your system down, hopefully we can keep you like in that resilient zone and not having any of those issues. But are you seeing a therapist or anything?
Yeah, I'm currently signed up for DBT therapy.
Okay,
So,
good. Distress
yeah,
tolerance and emotion regulation will be like super helpful with that.
that's good. Yeah, because I was like researching, should I try EMDR? Should I try like just different types of therapies? And I was like, DBT sounds good for now, I
Yeah.
think. Because I watched one of your videos where you said if you're dissociating all the time, it might not be best to do EMDR because I'm
Yeah,
not
I have a video
present.
coming out next week where I'll just explain why that happens. But yeah, it's not best because it doesn't can't really work.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so it's been a struggle.
yeah, of
But
course.
I'm right now I'm like at the part where my therapist gave me a packet to review called Radical Acceptance, I think is what
Mm-hmm.
it's called.
Yep.
Yeah, and so like I'm just trying to just accept my situation and
Hmm.
maybe over time it'll get better and I won't feel as derealized because I feel it 24/7, so
Ooh, yeah. And those tools are helpful. I like the DBT for me is like structured and there's tools and homework, and then I feel like I'm getting something where I can like help
yeah.
myself. Because that just gives us hope. We're like, oh, it can get better. And so I hope that that's how it feels for you. And I do think I mean,
Yeah.
DBT is so beneficial, and especially if you're having trouble staying present, you can still benefit from it.
Yeah, I love it so far because when I have like these kind of intrusive thoughts and like they taught me the conveyor belt method and then
Uh-huh.
like just challenging the thoughts and so it's really helpful. I really like it. I'm glad I chose DBT instead of something else because they have like they tell you exactly what you should do in different types of situations when you're stressing out and I just like that a
Yeah,
lot.
exactly. It's awesome to feel like you have something you can do, because when we're maxed out, we're like, ah, but then it's like, okay, I can try this. Okay, I'll just do
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Yeah. Yay.
And since I
Cool,
don't,
cool.
yeah, thank you.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
I
of
was
course.
just gonna say that I don't take medication, so like, cause I have like a paranoia for medication,
Uh-huh.
um, so I don't take medication. And those tools is just like I know I'm gonna have if I have a panic attack, I don't have to take like a medication. I could just do those tools that they teach me in the
Yeah,
DBT, and they help a lot. Like I don't know,
they
I
totally
would
do.
recommend DBT for anyone who's going through anxiety.
Good. I agree. I recommend it too. So I'm glad that it's helping. Keep us
Thank
posted,
you.
okay?
Yes, I will. Thank you so
Okay.
much for your videos too. They helped so much. Like in the beginning, I was so lost, and then I went through and saw all your dissociation and trauma videos, and they were so helpful. And
Oh, good.
it's great that you do this.
Yay. I'm glad. I'm glad you found me. Thanks for being on.
Yeah, thank you for guesting me.
Of course, of course. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, I presume.
Yeah, it's dark out here. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Same. Same.
Okay.
I'll see you
Yeah.
soon.
Bye.
Bye, honey. Yeah, that's so awesome. And I don't want anybody to feel like medication is the only way to go. If any of you know and have followed me for any period of time, you know that I always say it's like it can help you if you feel like you're drowning in your symptoms. And so don't feel like it's not an option. But if it's something that is just a no-go for you, like she was saying, like I have paranoia about it, I don't want to start medication. I totally get it. And you don't have to. Like you can have your tools and that can be, helpful for you. So I think that that was really cool, and I'm so glad. I'm glad. Thank you, Amber Rose. Woo woo woo. Okay, let's answer. Yes, meds are a plaster. It is like a band-aid. Like the meds don't fix what's happened, but they can help us feel better enough that we can actually use the tools in the moment. So if we find that we can't even use any of the tools and we can't do anything, that's where medication really helps. Um, oh, Callie Unicorn. Yes, I have a YouTube channel. It's just my name, same as on here. Oh, the conveyor belt method. Do you guys want me to talk about the conveyor belt method? Um, I think depending on how they taught it to her, it's like a mindfulness exercise, and so it kind of helps you with like struggles with dissociation. I'm trying to pull up. I have a little. I think there's an image. Can I share images on here? I wonder.
I don't think so.
I don't think I can. But anyway, so the whole conveyor belt method is like you have like an anxious thought. Okay, so we have a thought that like, oh my God, I'm gonna fail that test or whatever. So we have that automatic thought. Then we have like thoughts about the thoughts, and we have thoughts about like tomorrow. We have thoughts about work. We have thoughts about later today. We have what we're feeling. We have things that are going on, and it's like we have all these thoughts, and they kind of run on a conveyor. And so it's like you basically, like, as the thoughts get closer to you, so it's kind of like racing thoughts is like the conveyor belt, if that gives you, that's like an idea of kind of telling you what I'm talking about. Then they start coming like faster and faster and faster, right? Like as the thoughts keep building, we have all these thoughts about all these things. It can feel like it's moving faster and faster. And like, I always imagine, I think this is just because of my age, but like Burger Time was a huge game I used to play as a kid. Well, it feels like it because then like the pickles are chasing you and you're like trying to run across and trying to get the thing down. It's like overwhelming, like, ah. And I always thought that like conveyor belt was kind of like that, or like, I don't know, like if I had to have a conveyor belt job and like put all the tops on something, it starts to feel overwhelming. And so the whole idea of DBT is like slowing that down essentially. And it's like a lot, there's a lot to it, but it's like you know, you have to like slow it down, be mindful, and you set a timer for like 5 minutes and you allow yourself to like think about it for that time and then stop it. I can do a whole video on it. It's much more, it's just a lot of intense stuff like that, but like helping you slow it down so that you know you can process through the thoughts at a certain amount of time and then that's it. And it just helps us calm. It's like, that's why it's mindfulness. You have to be like aware of what the thoughts are before you feel overwhelmed, because they like build up, we don't even realize it, and then we're like, then it's just running and running and running. Is that even making sense? It's a very, there's a lot. I could probably pull up like the actual thing, but it's like you let the thoughts like fall into buckets, and you know that it's going to be okay and you can deal with them later. Like you don't have to deal with them all right at that moment. So it like gives you a little bit of time and it allows you to not get so caught up in those thoughts. And so it's like, instead of feeling like we have to put all the tops on all these items, right? If our conveyor belt is filled, we can just like let them collect in that bucket, and we can take that bucket and put it down, and we can go back to it when we need to. So it just helps you be a little bit slower, helps you not feel so overwhelmed. I don't know if I did a proper job. You have to let me know. It's been a while since I've used that with someone, Sunshine. You'll have to let me know if I did it justice. Okay, let's answer some more questions. Melissa says, advice on unhealthy attachments with friends, mentors, professors, and therapists. Usually, if we find ourselves, sorry, I'm going to have to drink some water. Where's my water? Usually, if we are struggling with attachment to someone, it's because we didn't get something met when we were a lot younger. Meaning, if we cried, maybe someone didn't come. If we needed more emotional support, maybe we didn't get it. If maybe someone didn't come so often that we just completely stopped crying and asking for help. There's a lot of things that can happen when we're children. We can feel like neglected or abandoned in some way, whether it be physical, like actually taking care of us, or, like just emotional abandonment. And so as a result of that, we'll always look for people to try to like fill that void. Either like that's why the attachment to people happens, but there is the other reversal that like we may not be able to trust anyone or let anyone in. And so it can go both ways. But if we find ourselves easily becoming attached to people in our lives, whether it be a teacher or a therapist or a friend or anything like that, I would encourage you, instead of acting out of those thoughts and potentially like making things harder on your relationship, I would encourage you to take that information to therapy and say to them, you know, I found myself becoming attached really easily to people, and I'd really like to figure out where that's coming from, because it's really bothering me and I'm not 100% sure how to deal with it. And that can help you take it deeper. Thanks, Alyssa. Or is it Elisa? Woo, woo, woo. Versus just acting out of it and thinking that you have to work on like disconnecting from people, because that's not the problem. The attachment really isn't the problem. It's like the wound that needs to be healed, because once that wound is healed and once we kind of understand what happened and we heal ourselves from that past trauma, then we can like engage in relationships in a healthy way. We won't feel those urges anymore. It's like, instead of putting a Band-Aid on a broken leg, we're going to take it, we're going to set the bone, and then it's going to heal and we'll stitch it up. And so that's kind of like therapy is like taking it deeper versus just trying to cover up the problem that we see, if that even makes sense. Okay, we're running out of time, so I'm going to have to do my mail haul. Are we ready? And that wound can be healed. Oh, what's the clouds? What's happening?
You're going to
Amy
Oz.
Jack went.
You're going to Oz.
I know. It's like 80, what's it, around the world in 80 days? Woo! Thank you, Amy. Yay, 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 yay. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Coming in hot. 13,000 likes. Yay. I know. Who's going to sing the song, the Mail Hall? Is there a Mail Hall song?
I'm not
Wasn't
sure.
Mal Rain putting together a Mail Hall song?
I don't know.
Oh, bummer, Jamie. Well, I'm glad you're able to be on this one. I have a bunch of mail, so I'm going to try to cruise through it as quickly as possible. Blue's Clues. I love it. Blue's Clues. Thank you, Amy. Yay, yay. Okay, so let's open. So this is from, I'm going to have to open to make sure I can share a name. Ooh, that's a good song. Good old Miranda Lambert. Oh, you guys. Oh, I got to back up here so I can put my legs. Okay, so Blair, this is from Blair. We got some decals, the Rain Splitters, Lincoln Memorial University. Look at, we've got some, oh, I got to open this. Okay. Actually, what if it's a gift? I don't want to tear it open and then it's, oh, look. I'm going to cover up all the information, but look, it's a brain tree.
Oh, I like that.
I
That's
love it. You guys are so much better at branding than I am. Oh, look. Oh, wait. Pew, 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 pew. Isn't this cute? Thank you, Blair. I will read this later, as always. I always read all of your mail. Oh, and I got a letter. Okay, so Blair, thank you. I received your package. I received your decals. These are awesome. It says automotive decal. Everything else is just a sticker. Super serious. Okay. Let's open. This is from Suzette, all the way from Australia. Yay, yay. Oh, happy Christmas. Look. It's got the parrots like on the side of the road when we were in Melbourne.
Oh my God, yeah.
I love it. Oh, it says, and thanks to Sean for helping her. Thanks to all the helpful videos. Oh, thank you, Suzette. This is so cute. Oh my God. And I know it's Melbourne, but with my accent, Melbourne just sounds weird. So it's Melbourne. And I know everybody will keep talking about it because that's the thing. Okay, this, I'm always curious. This came from Mantra Band, it says. I gotta get my scissors. My skizzers. Yes, Rebecca, I'm still gonna pop over to Patreon following this mail haul. We have more time. We have like 13 minutes left. I wanted to make sure you all got your time. Just because I was stuck at the doctor's doesn't mean that you have to be punished. Okay. Ooh, what are these? Ooh la la. Please open and inspect immediately. Okay, it says, Katie, it's my birthday weekend. I was given some cash and figured it's time to pay it forward a little. I love these bracelets. Maybe you can give them away on a live stream or something. Thanks for everything. And I'm not sure if I'm saying her name right, but Sinead, I think Sinead, is it Sinead? That's how I would pronounce it. But look at how cool these are, you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. They're mantra bands. I love it's like contraband, but mantra band. And it says, you are enough. You are strong enough. You're good enough. Not because of anything you do or don't, have or have not. You just are. You are important. You are loved. You are enough. Isn't that cute? Oh, these are so cool. Thank you, Shanae. Okay, then we have two more. She sent 3 total. They're called mantra bands. You can find them online. Can you see it? Okay, cool. Then this one's believe, and this one's this too shall pass. So believe is every journey starts with believing, and belief will keep you going. Believe in yourself, believe in your dreams, believe you can. And they just have these words, so they say believe like on the edge of the band. And this one says this too shall pass. Everything experienced in life, good or bad, is only temporary. Whether you're going through a hardship or surrounded by love and joy, take a breath and remember this too shall pass. How cool! Thank you, thank you, thank you. And these are giveaways, you guys. You can win these. So exciting. Okay. I have another card from Linda. Is Linda in the house? Oh, look at the turkey lurkeys. I love it. I love it. Oh, thank you, Linda. This is so pretty. Okay. And and Abigail. We got another letter from Abigail. Oh, look at the stickers. I love it. I know mantra bands, you guys. Aren't those cool? Those are amazing. Jeffrey, I do open most of my mail online, unless we're running short on time, in which case I have done it on Snapchat a few times. Oh my God, Abigail. Oh my God, she put a guinea pig in a cup for me and I couldn't be happier. Isn't it cute?
That's
Peggy
funny.
Jean Jr. Oh, I love guinea pigs. I like the little noise they make. They're like, reet, reet, reet. Okay. Oh, thank you, Abigail. Thank you, thank you. Yay, yay, yay. Okay. I'm going to have to redecorate my whole spiel up there. Okay. I'm just trying to move through this quickly, you guys. I know sometimes it can seem very long-winded. Okay, I have to get my scissors out. Get the good old skizzers. Okay. Oh. I also have severe anxiety about like cutting into packages that I'll like completely ruin it. Okay, this, I don't know who this is from. It just says Jamaica, New York. Who's from Jamaica? Ooh. We've got The Tale of Kitty and Boots, the book depository. Let's see. Somebody sent us something. Oh my God. Oh my God. Who sent this? How could it? I don't know. It's from the UK. Somebody sent it, and it came to the Honorable Kati Morton and Sir Sean, and it says
Sir Sean.
fucking apostrophes. And I love it already, clearly. And it says a guide to show you where you can stick them. I love this so much. This is amazing. So, because who understands like semicolons and shit? Larger, contractions. You guys, my inner like English nerd is so amazing. Who sent this? Thank you for whoever took the time to send this. It doesn't tell me. Looking at the order details, I've got nothing. But thank you, whomever sent fucking apostrophes. It's amazing. Okay, moving on to the next one. This is from the same person. So it came again to the Honorable Kati Morton and Sir Sean. Somebody, is this Peggy? Did Peggy send these things? I know that she was looking into sending things. And she said she was sending books. But that's an amazing book. Benz, it's you! You're so sneaky. I love it. I love it. Benz is the best. I know, hashtag Benz is the best. We get another Kitty and Boots. A nice bookmark. This one is the Ladybird Book of Mindfulness. How cool. Oh. Does anybody just love illustrations? I know that's such a weird thing to say. But it's books for grown-ups. Oh, look, you guys, it's like a kid's book, but a book for grown-ups. Talking all about mindfulness. This is amazing, Bins. Are these giveaways? Please let me know. Because I don't want to get, I want to make sure they go where they need to go. Okay, let's open. We got three more packages. Sorry, one popped out there I didn't see. Oh, I think these are from Peggy. Okay. So, Katie, I wasn't sure if you already have this book, but I found it very helpful. Maybe if you have it already, you can use it as a giveaway. I do not have this, so unfortunately, you guys, I'm going to keep it. It's called Childhood Disrupted, How Your Biography Becomes Your Biology and How You Can Heal. This could be really helpful, you guys. It's healing from childhood trauma. This could create a ton of books. Or a ton of books. Jesus. A ton of videos. And it doesn't say Peggy. I'm just assuming it's Peggy. But she didn't sign it. I assume it's you. If she's not here, I assume it's Peggy. But maybe it's someone else. Let me know. If this is from you, thank you. I'm going to keep this. And I'm going to read it. And I'll let you know. Maybe we'll create some videos on it. Okay. So this is from, says this letter has sat on my kitchen counter for a while. Today it got brave and I mailed it. Hope that was okay. Of course it's okay. It's from Shanae, if I'm saying her name even correctly. Montreal. It is like Montreal. Is that what you guys are saying? Charlotte, you sent this? Which one did you? Oh, the book? You sent this? Charlotte Hall? Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm very excited. Give me some nice reading to do. Oh, I got a letter. Oh, thank you. I will read this. It's a private letter. Okay, last box. This is from Ooks. Ooks put some goodies in the mail. I had heard. She had told me that maybe something was coming my way. I'm very excited. But I gotta open it first. And then we'll answer a couple more questions, and then we'll pop on over to Crowdcast. Are you guys ready to rumble? Okay, let's see. What do we have? Oh, she's outdone herself. Oh my God. Okay, first of all, I love this. I love it, I love it, I love it. Okay, it says the edible goodies and tea are for you, and the coloring book and journal are for other Kenyans. The rest is dealer's choice. I love it. I totally enjoy Ooks. Okay, first of all, these are amazing. If you don't recall, Ook sent me, I moved it into the kitchen because they were sitting on my desk and that was a little too dangerous for me, so I moved them into the kitchen. I may share these with you guys because they're so delicious. So these are just little tasty treats. Or actually, I think these are all for me. The edible goodies are for me. Ha-ha! Sorry, I tricked you. Okay, we have dark chocolate. Oh, goodness gracious. How do you know how you say that?
Non-pareil.
Non-pareil.
Close enough.
Non-pareil. I'm working on it. I've got to get better at my French. Okay. Ooh, Sean. Maple sugar candies.
Ooh.
They even have a Canadian flag on them.
Yes.
Oh, they're so pretty. Don't eat them all. Share. Sharing is caring. Oh, you guys, it's a French bulldog. And these are like little like Post-it notes, like memo pad. This is amazing. This is one forever and ever. Sean and I wanted this dog, but now they're like so overbred. We feel kind of bad. You know, we feel like we should find like a mixed one at the pound because you should always get a rescue. Just throwing that out there. 642 tiny things to write about. Oh, I love it. I love this. If anybody has trouble journaling, these kinds of books are amazing. It's a great place to start. These are awesome, Ooks. The Calming Coloring Kit includes 50 pencils and 10 colored pencils. This would be perfect for travel. You could just pop this in your carry-on and you're on your way. Oh, squirrel pin. I think those should go to, well, I think that this should go with one of the others. Like, so you have, and you pull the tail off and that's the pin. I have a sneaking suspicion. Black ink. Thank you, Ooks. I love it. Okay. And the final bit from that box is a t-shirt. This is awesome. It's true. Never underestimate a woman who loves squirrels. And I love the squirrel. Oh my God. It's almost like, oh, this is amazing. And I think this will fit, by the way. So thank you. You did a very good job. I love it. I love it all. Thank you. Ooks. Yay. Okay. I've got to put all this stuff together so it doesn't get like confused. And everybody knows where things came from. And I can put the giveaways in the giveaway pile and put my notes where the notes go. Thank you guys so much for sending all of the wonderful, wonderful goodies. I'm excited. I'm excited about those maple things too. I want to eat one now, but I shall resist because eating when you're trying to talk is just not a good thing. Palm Tree Beach is wearing her pizza shirt right now. That's amazing. If you guys don't remember that, it's an amazing shirt. It's a a pizza and a pineapple, and they're like holding hands. It looks like they're about to like engage in some exciting activity, and they're like, nobody will know. It's amazing. Oh my God. Okay.
Hey, can you explain a little bit more about the Crowdcast? So how does it work? Because I don't even know. I couldn't get to work.
So if you go to, thank you, Ooks. So if you go, I believe it's to the App Store and you look up Crowdcast.
I'm doing it right now. Hold on.
Sean's gonna Crowdcast.
Okay. So
I put that in
go to the App Store.
No one has to know. I know, it's so awesome. And
explain to me.
Oh, did you Palm Tree Beach? Okay. I'll have to. Is it on Twitter? So, anyways, so go to Crowdcast.
Okay, I found it.
And then you download it.
I'm downloading it.
Or if you're on your laptop, you don't have to do all this. But then, once you have the Crowdcast app, I've heard from people that then when you get onto the Patreon post that I will post here in a hot minute.
Okay, so I have to go to Patreon next?
Yes, because you're essentially downloading the app so that it opens easier and it works better.
Okay.
Because that's what it works through. Does that make sense?
Okay,
so anyways, then I'll go through it. So then you go to the post that I'll put on Patreon I haven't even posted it yet. It'll say, we're going live. And it's very not intuitive. You have to click the little orange, like, hyperlink looking thing that says go to the live stream. It says Crowdcast or something. You click that hyperlink, and then it takes you straight through to the live stream. Cool? Cool. So let me know if that is confusing, but if you have any issues, ask them. Just because I don't really know, I'm not a Crowdcast, like, person necessarily. If we want to do YouTube later, we can try that. Thank you, Holly. Woo, woo, woo. Click the orange thing. Thank you, sheep. I know if you have trouble with it, let me know. But anyways, okay, so let's answer some questions. So Jeffrey says, is it okay to prefer to be single over being in a relationship? Of course. I will talk about that in my third Let's Talk About Sex video. Because, Alice, yes, you do have to be a Patreon patron, even if it's just $1. That's how the platform works. There's no way for me to just live stream through Patreon. These are your freebie ones. So anyways, wanting to be single is completely fine. I have a video where I talk about like asexuality and also just like pressure to be in relationships or have sex or any of that stuff when you just don't want to. Truthfully, do what's best for you. Don't let anybody tell you what you need to do or what needs to happen. As long as you're happy with what's going on in your life, that's fine. Other people don't have to tell you, like, other people don't have to be happy with your choices. Only you do. Okay? Yeah, you do you. Exactly, as Carly said. Totally, ooks. Be a patron, join the cool kids club. Okay, Jasmine asks, what's the easiest way to reach out for help cautiously? The truth about it is that taking our time, giving ourselves the opportunity to get to know someone just a little bit, seeing how they feel, how they respond to difficult situations, allows us to see if it's a good fit or not, and know that at any point in time we can be like, I don't want to make another appointment. All that being said, consider that therapy is hard work, and after sessions you may have a hard time. You may be dissociating. You may be really tired or overly emotional. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's the therapist's fault or that the therapist is bad. I would bring that up in therapy and talk about that too. But just sticking with that for a while and knowing that if they're like not paying attention, I have a whole video about how to know if a therapist is bad. You can watch that. But just being patient with the process, listening to yourself, and, going with your gut. Okay. Thank you, Mickey. Thank you all so very much for being on and for sending beautiful, wonderful gifts and all of that stuff. I'm going to hop over to the Patreon thing. It takes me just like 3 to 5 minutes, I think, is usually like the interim in between. Thank you, Ash, the boss, the volleyball. Exactly. Like Carly said, sometimes it takes a few months to find out you love your therapist. Take your time. There is no rush. Do what's best for you. Thank you, Holly. Thank you guys so much. I can't wait to, and thank you, Jen. I can't wait to read all of your letters, and thank you for the new book and the shirt and all the goodies, those bracelets for giveaways. We'll have to get into more giveaways in the new year. How's that sound? We'll be like super duper giveaway people. But I will see you in just a minute. Okay? Bring all your questions. See you in a minute. Bye.